Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. We are live on YouTube.com. And before we get started tonight, I would like to take a moment. This is actually the first time I've actually have ever had to do this before we actually had to start the show. Um, However, tonight we are going to dedicate this episode of the Cerebral Smack Talk to the general manager, the principal owner of AAA, the Mexican wrestling organization, which is considered one of the top companies in Mexico, to their leader, Joaquin Rodan, who passed away on Saturday morning at the age of 65 years old. Rodan has become a fixture of AAA Mexico for the past 21 years after he took the company over from the previous owner, which was Antonio Pena. Antonio Pena was the creator of AAA wrestling and made this into a global phenomenon. Many wrestlers that you guys see on Lucha Underground is because of AAA, because of Joaquin Rodan and the legacy of Antonio Pena. And with that said, that you see nowadays from Cibernetico to El Messias, Judas Messias, for all you TNA fans out there, to Sexy Star, and Dalia Vicarin, Johnny Mundo, and all these other stars was because of this great man and his family. His wife that he is survived by, Marisol Pena, who is oddly enough the sister of Antonio Pena, and now his son Dorian Rodan, that now will be running the company for AAA from now on. He died of cancer. He was named to AAA's Hall of Fame just a year ago in 2016 to much controversy at the time. But now it was very prominent and apparent that this was the most necessary now that we see in hindsight. Joaquin Rodan was basically the heart and the soul of the company. Many people thought that after Antonio Pena's death in 1996, that this company was never going to survive, that it was probably going to seal a death like WCW did, like ECW did. But Joaquin Rodan and Marisol Pena did not let that happen and kept the company alive and has thrived through the years, especially now with partnership that they had with the WWF in 1997, and that's when they brought a lot of the guys in the 1997 Royal Rumble was because of that. And in recent years, they were working with a partnership with TNA Wrestling and was working with Jeff Jarrett very closely for the last 2 or 3 years. But now, a AAA, we do not know. But one thing is for sure, this man kept the company alive when many people thought that it wasn't going to survive. And for me, on the behalf of myself, and I know all the members of the Wrestling Forum community, we would like to send our thoughts and prayers to Marisol Pena, to Dorian Rodan, and the entire AAA and Mexican wrestling family. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you, as always, to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. I am Michael Fletcher, alongside Anthony Florio, Dee Woodson, and Michael Bullock. And yes, guys, tonight was the big night. It was the final big event for WWE. This was the shakeup, the superstar shakeup, night 2. And this was going to be the night where SmackDown was going to have their say. What was their roster going to look like after tonight? Well, at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours from where we are, a little longer for Dee Woodson's case, being in Atlanta. Alliance, Ohio. It'd probably be like more like if you're trying to drive maybe about 10 hours, more give or take a few. But whatever the case, the night was a big night for SmackDown Live. 14 new talent coming to the roster to compensate for the 13 that they lost, including new commentator Byron Saxton. Welcome, Byron, to the group as he now joins Todd and JBL. And we started it off with the United States heavyweight champion Kevin Owens coming to SmackDown Live. Started ripping about America, started ripping about the Boston fans, which probably got Michael Bullock all saltier than a pretzel because he did take a couple of shots at his Boston Bruins. Then on top of that, it looked like, we were going to get a little more, Baron Corbin showed up, and we had a little nice exchange between the two. Then another surprise, not a big surprise for us because we did this, but another new member of the SmackDown roster. Can I say it? The underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens is so angry now because he's like, it looks like every time it looks like Sami Zayn, it looks like when Kevin Owens can finally get away, get on his own, his little lapdog buddy, his biggest rival, Sami Zayn, has to show up, and basically now he's a part of SmackDown Live. Then we had the phenomenal Styles. He makes his appearance, and he's like, look, okay, don't get me wrong, Sami, great to have you on the show. You're awesome, but one thing you need to know, it doesn't matter if you're Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, or Kevin Owens, but this is I am Styles, and this is the place that I built. SmackDown Live is my place. This is my house. You get to rent. I'm the owner of this place. So Daniel Bryan comes out and he's like, okay, guys, look, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but about the United States Heavyweight Championship, not yet. Until we settle this at Payback on April 30th, my birthday nonetheless, between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. The winner of that fight gets to come to SmackDown full time, and they will be a part of the SmackDown roster. However, what I can do is announce a match later in the evening, which was our main event of the evening, and it was going to be A.J. Styles versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin, and the winner of that fight would become the #1 contender for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Brilliant. There's nothing more to say about this. This was definitely a great way to start the show, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, but SmackDown lost a lot of great guys. Here's the thing. SmackDown so great is look at what happened in the draft last year. SmackDown got slaughtered. It wasn't even fair what happened to Team Blue. But what made our show so great? Storyline progression, and like Shane and Daniel has always said since day one, this place is the land of opportunity. You have to see, it's not that you're going to get handed opportunities. You have to go out there, kick some ass, and take those opportunities. Bring them to the forefront. Alexa Bliss did that. The Miz did that. Dean Ambrose did that. A lot of the guys on that side did it. A.J. Styles, Randy Orton, I guess we can say Naomi, especially Alexa Bliss. So you gotta make it in this company. Nothing gets handed to you. You have to make your presence known on this company. Very well said. Now, let's see how this stacks up against the rest. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people are going to start saying, oh, but this is not main event quality. Okay, fine, get it. But did we ever need any main event quality guys to make SmackDown what was the A show for the past year. True grit, true heart, true confidence, true blood. You bleed blue. You're cool with me. All right. So with that said, let's get it to the host of the ridiculously raw, Mr. Anthony Florio, the distinguished gentleman or the hitman, like we call on this show. Anthony, what did you think about the opening segment? And two guys that we expected it to come are finally on SmackDown Blue. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens both are on Team Blue.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. Well, not a big surprise. I mean, we knew Kevin Owens was going to be on SmackDown Live. I mean, let's be realistic here. When Dean Ambrose showed up on Raw last night, that pretty much confirmed it right there. I mean, that was the first, and no big surprise. That was the first moment right there. And then Sami Zayn, that was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, I kind of was not expecting it, especially after what happened on Raw last night, that little interaction he had with Angle. But, well, he's on SmackDown Live, so maybe that could be a blessing in disguise. We'll have to wait and see. But Baron Corbin showing up, and then A.J.Styles, and oh, yeah. I could probably go on the record and say this was the segment of the night for me. I mean, the star power in there. I mean, Baron Corbin, he's come a long way. And A.J.Styles staying on SmackDown Live, that was the ultimate shocker. I mean, because a lot of the dirt sheets were calling for him to go to Monday Night Raw. And what a coup that would have been for Team Red, but unfortunately not the case. But it is what it is. I'm more than happy with the turnout for Raw. But good start for SmackDown Live. I mean, you get Kevin Owens, proven commodity, reigning and defending United States Heavyweight Champion. I fully expect him to go over Jericho again at Payback on your birthday, MF, and that's going to cement him. And then whoever comes out of that number one contenders match, which we'll get into later, which one of the two big matches of this show. And so yeah, I mean, segment was fine for what it was, but yeah, I mean, I understand where MF's coming from. I mean, what he talked about, main event caliber talent. I mean, some were saying that they were hoping for more surprises ahead because SmackDown did lose a lot of star power in exchange for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. There are a lot of matchups that I want to see with those two involved, but one or hopefully two more main event quality talents would feel a lot better. So that's really all I can say on that. So solid segment to say the least. It was the segment of the night for me, honestly. So with that being said, Phenom, Michael Bullock, fresh off our SmackDown chat, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a great way to start off the show. Yeah, we pretty much knew Kevin Owens was going to be coming to SmackDown Live once Dean Ambrose showed up on Raw with the Intercontinental title. That pretty much sealed it right there. And I told you guys last night on the Ridiculously Raw, I said Sami Zayn was gonna go to SmackDown Live because over on Raw, I mean, he's pretty much been wasted. I mean, he hasn't really been used pretty good. So hopefully this move to SmackDown Live will definitely get him going and have him get more opportunities. And like you said, it is the land of opportunity. So yeah, and AJ Styles then comes out and welcomes him there. And of course, you had Baron Corbin out there. And Daniel Bryan comes out and says, you know what? We can't do anything about the United States Championship yet because Kevin Owens has to defend it at Payback against Chris Jericho on the Raw exclusive pay-per-view. So, but what I can do is make a triple threat match to name the next number one contender for the United States Championship. It'll be Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. And the winner will be the next number one contender for the United States Heavyweight Championship. So, How did it turn out? You'll have to wait and find out during the ongoing of this Cerebral Smack Talk. So great way to start off. And so Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson, come on in. So what are your thoughts on the segment? And of course, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going to SmackDown Live. Dee Dee, are you there?
Her mic's on.
Yeah, I mean,
She might be having technical issues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. I think you could
Yeah,
see some
should
technical
be right
issues.
back. Sound issues. All right. So while we get Dee Dee to try to fix her sound issues, we're going to continue on. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the next fight. Once Dee Dee comes back on, then we're going to give her opportunity to talk about thoughts. Hopefully she'll be back momentarily. So with that said, the next thing we had was Eric Rowan and Dee Dee, are you there? Hold on, let me see if I can get Dee Dee Woodson on if we can. I guess not. All right. So Eric Rowan going up against WWE champion Randy Orton. The winner of the bout by disqualification was Randy Orton. During the match, there was a vignette. Bray Wyatt decided to appear out of nowhere and basically cut the promo on Randy Orton. Next thing we know, basically it was a beatdown segment. It turned into a beatdown. So Anthony Florio, put in your 2 cents about this match. Rowan versus Orton.
No rating to a dud. It was the worst fight of the night for me. And unfortunately, the god-awful feud continues. Bray Wyatt versus Orton ruined another SmackDown segment. And Bray isn't even on the show anymore. He's on Monday Night Raw now. But they are scheduled to meet at Payback, the House of Horrors match. I'm still intrigued by it because I want to see what it looks like. But honestly, that match was not good. I mean, that was a snoozer fight. Let's not kid ourselves. And Eric Rowan, you need a new gimmick in a bad way, dude. And what is up with that sheet mask? I mean, it looks like a combination of a sheet mask and a sleep apnea mask. That's all I can say on that. So, but other than that, I'm sorry. You want me to tell it? You want me to be the man who tells it like it is? Well, I'm telling it like it is right now. That was a mess. Period. Done. Finished. Bullet. Go.
Yeah, no rating to a dud. That was a shit fest of a match there. Really didn't give two what's about it. And the ongoing thing with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton continues. And like you said, Bray Wyatt's now on Monday Night Raw. And of course, these two will face off for the championship at Payback, the Raw exclusive pay-per-view in that House of Horrors match, which I will be intrigued. So, yeah, no rating to a dud. So, Dee Dee Woodson, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So, yeah. So, give us your thoughts. Well, first off, on the opening segment with A.J.Styles, Baron Corbin, and of course the two new additions to SmackDown Live, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and then of course the match we just talked about, Randy Orton and Eric Rowan.
The segment itself is definitely the segment of the night. I wasn't quite surprised to see either one of them jump to SmackDown, but I did love Kevin Owens' reaction when he saw Zayn pop out. But yeah, I really enjoyed the segment. It definitely good way to start off the show. As for the match, I don't know what to think about the match. I mean, to me, I probably would not give it much of a rating at all because of the fact that it was a DQ and Bray Wyatt interrupted the match. if I give it anything, I'll give it just 1 star because I don't like that kind of stuff. You know, if you're gonna have a match, have the match all the way through. Don't have the Titantron thing blow up with an interruption that, you know, basically chops your match in half and causes the DQ in the end, or causes, you know, someone to lose that much focus to where, I mean, it just pretty much died once Bray gotten, you know, popped up on it. So that's about all I have to say about that. So whoever's next.
Now we're just gonna move right on, guys. You guys pretty much covered everything, so yeah, it was definitely the worst fight of the night, and we'll just move on. Well, here's a fight that I know is gonna have a lot of people talking in a good way. It was the rematch for the WWE Smackdown Tag Team Championship. American Alphas versus the champions, the Usos, the winners of the bout, and still the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. But wait a minute. After the match was over, shakeup strikes again. And this time around, even though I wasn't too thrilled with who came out, boy, did they make an impact when they came out. Primo and Epico, the shining stars, are on SmackDown Live. We needed a little bit of an energy in the tag team division, but let me tell you, this wasn't this same campy comedy. Oh, we're gonna try to sell you brochures for Puerto Rico, the beautiful land. No, 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 no. They came out mean. This was almost revival looking beat down. I hope this is the Primo and Epico we're gonna get from now on, because if this is what we're gonna get, I think SmackDown Live might have gotten a diamond in the rough. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good match here, a good tag team title match. I'm gonna give it about I'm gonna give it about 2.5, some somewhere between 2.5 to 3. If I'm gonna be quite honest, even though I'm leaning more towards 2.5, but yeah, I mean, a great way. Yeah, nice win for the Usos to retain the tag team titles. So yeah, and yeah, Primo and Epico. I mean, attacking American Alpha after. I mean, that's a surprise. I mean, when me and Florio saw this, I mean, we were both like, really? I mean, they did come out with that new, like with a mean attitude, but here's the thing. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, I'm not ready to buy into it yet, because somehow I get this feeling that they'll probably go back to that whole, oh, we'll sell you brochures for a trip to Puerto Rico. So I mean, I hope this is a new change, but like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. So, but like, as we always like to say, I'm not holding my breath on that. So 2.5 stars. DD Woodson, it's yours.
Definitely agree with the rating. Yeah, I don't want to see them go back to, you know, doing the crap they did on Raw. That they came out with a strong opening um, as the new talent on SmackDown, and we'll just have to see if the Shining Stars actually maintain that high level that they've come out with, or if it just goes back into the the sucky stuff. So, Anthony, it's yours.
What did you guys rate that? About 3 or so? What was that? I got a little
Between
About 2.5.
2.5 to 3 is what they were giving it, but
Yeah,
more
two and a
like
half to
two and a
three.
half.
Yeah, that's about right. I'm leaning more towards 3 myself because of that finishing sequence. It started slow, but it did eventually get better. We got those Shakespearean drama near falls. Second best fight of the night for me. fun match with the right finish, but Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon have shown massive incompetence thus far. The show must have underwent serious budget cuts. Primo and Epico aren't moving anyone's needle, and neither is the next shakeup move. And we're gonna get into that in just a short, but this was another great match. I think the match where the Usos won the belts, I think that was the better match by a little bit. But this was another great outing. I mean, this is the big money feud in the tag team division, and unless they're repackaging Primo and Epico, which I hope and pray to God they're doing, I can't really get behind that. I mean, I talked to Bullock about this earlier during our SmackDown chat, and I even said I even made a bold prediction. I thought it was going to either be the New Day or maybe even Enzo and Cass. Well, knock on wood.
Yeah, what happened there?
We ended up getting Primo and Epico. So, or did something else happen? We'll have to find out. But for me, second best fight of the night. Solid 3 stars for me. Slow start, but it got going towards the end. So, with that being said, MF, let's just move on.
Yeah, but you guys were absolutely right. You know, when I heard it, because this was expected, we knew. Well, a lot of people were predicting that Primo and Epico were gonna go to SmackDown Live, and I said it last night. I wasn't looking forward with this, but now with their new attitude and the way that they handle themselves tonight, just maybe maybe there's a silver lining here, because unlike with Monday Night Raw, and I'm sorry I'm taking this shot at them, I have more faith in the writers and the agents and the bookies, the bookmakers, that they can bring out the best in a bad situation. And that's why I believe for Primo and Epico, this might be a start of something better, something more awesome. Because let's be realistic, the best time or their best gimmick they ever had way back when was when they were Primo and Epico and they were partnered with Rosa Mendez. And when they were together, they were literally one of the top teams in WWE. And as a matter of fact, they were tag team champions at the time. And yeah, then they kind of fell through. Don't even get me started with Los Matadores and that. And now this Shining Stars and, the Shining Stars and whatnot, and a lot of people's men about it. So I get it. But if they give us this heel-like Primo and Epico and give us a little bit of that attitude from way back when, maybe we got something good here, and we'll see what the future may hold for them. All right. Next up we had was the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, Mojo Rawley, and he went up against another person who was originally on Monday Night Raw, now the newest member of SmackDown Live because of the Superstar shakeup, Jinder Mahal. Now, I can do a dirty joke here, but I'm going to keep it as clean as possible. But I can tell you one thing. Definite upgrade over Kurt Hawkins. You already know where that goes. Roll your eyes all you want. All right, who starts off? Is it? Oh, it's Dee Dee Woodson.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's Dee Dee. Oh my God.
All I can say is, girl, I don't envy
you. Look out. Hell has no fury like a woman scorned. Go
Especially
ahead, girl. It's all yours.
Dee Dee Woodson. Cut out as far as I'm concerned.
Do you want to call cut out? I'll call it.
Yes.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Do you want me to call cut? Okay. Cut out. It's been called. We've called it. Cut out. So I'll save Dee Dee for the moment. It's a good thing because the next thing we have is something about the women. So we'll give it to our resident lady. Okay. So The next thing we had was Shane McMahon showing the love to Boston, thanking the crowd and everything else. And he thanked all the guys who were previously on SmackDown, coming to Monday Night Raw, going to Raw, and wishing them the best of luck. Then, well, he was like, do you want to see who the new women of SmackDown are going to be? Okay, before then, let's introduce and let's say hello to our remaining ladies. So we had was the women's champion, Naomi, Natalia, Carmella, and Becky Lynch. We had a little bit of an altercation. James Ellsworth basically talking some junk about Naomi, calling her a horrible champion. Naomi was like, "Yo, you better put your lap dog, back in his kennel, or I'll put him down." Got a little temperamental. Then Shane McMahon decides we were going to roll out. Here we go. The moment had arrived. So the first person that he announced was actually a shocker. I think none of us saw this coming. Second generation superstar, daughter of a Hall of Famer and a champion, and then announced Tamina Snuka as the newest member of SmackDown. Now, wait a minute, time out. Before all you people start going nuts and everything else, Tamina was never drafted in the first place. Remember, she was out with an injury. Then her father, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, had a major problem, cancer issues. He was fighting a murder charge. He unfortunately passed away, and she was basically not even in the mix. So for her to be scooped up by SmackDown, and a lot of people started jumping at this saying, well, she's better than Nia Jax. So we don't get, who care? Yes, we don't care that it's her, but at least it's better than Nia Jax, because Nia Jax has been botching all over the place. She's a wasted space on Monday Night Raw. I'm not going there. I'm leaving that one alone. So Shane's like, okay, it seems like you guys were looking for something else. Like, I was going to bring somebody else. You know what? I got somebody for you. In his eyes, he was like, this was the biggest acquisition of the entire superstar shakeup. Who do we get? None other than the 5-time WWE Women's Champion from the Queen Cities, the new Queen of SmackDown, Charlotte Flair. Michael Bullock, yeah, I know you want to do it with me. Woo!
It's been a while since we've done that.
It's been a while, and she is now on the Blue brand, SmackDown Live. And it was shocking because we was thinking maybe Sasha Banks. There was a rumor she was in Boston and she wasn't in the area, but she did not get the call. Interesting. But whatever the case may be, Charlotte, no big surprise. Tamina threw us for a loop. So, Didi Woodson, give us your thoughts about the new acquisitions for SmackDown and what your feeling is about now this new look to the women's division on SmackDown Live.
Uh-oh.
Didi?
I think she's having problems with their the sound again.
All right. I've already spoke my piece about it. So, Anthony, why don't you jump in on this and give me your thoughts?
I'm on it. Second best segment of the night for me. Tamina Snuka. Yeah, okay. No disrespect, but she's not a replacement for either Mickie James or Alexa Bliss. She has basically one offensive move. Charlotte, of course, big addition. That's the shakeup right there. I mean, that was expected, especially after Alexa Bliss showed up on Monday Night Raw. So she will be missed on the red brand, no doubt about it. I mean, especially by me, because you all know my love affair with Charlotte Flair. So that one's gonna hurt for me a little bit. But I go from a girl who definitely has girlfriend and wife potential to a young lady who I've jokingly called my future ex-wife in Alexa Bliss. So yeah, I mean, Charlotte did what she could on Raw. She dominated Raw, winning the Raw Women's title 4 times, and retired that god awful Diva belt by being the longest running champion in that. So I'm happy for you guys. I mean, I know she'll do well on SmackDown Live, and no doubt about it, by the end of this year, she'll be the SmackDown Women's Champion. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when that match will go down, I'm not sure. The earliest possible date I could see Charlotte and Naomi going at it would probably be May 21st, which is the next SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view, Backlash from the IWC, capital of the world, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, that's going to be hella fun right there. So yeah, I mean, Charlotte, great move there. Tamina Snuka, like I said, no disrespect, but yeah, she is not a replace. That I mean, you cannot replace Mickie James. Or I mean, you could say she's the Mickie James replacement, because I think Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, canceled each other out. Honestly, uber over heel queen for another. So but it is what it is. So congrats to SmackDown Live, MF. I mean, I know you've got to be counting your lucky stars right now, considering you've got the Queen Bee on your show now. She did what she did on Raw. She dominated Raw enough. So while I'm not that happy about it, professionally, I can certainly understand it. So best of luck to the Queen on SmackDown Live. I know you'll do well. And I know by the end of this year, you will be the SmackDown Women's Champion. I guarantee it. So, Tamina, on the other hand, yeah, that went over like a lead balloon. So, sorry. So, second best segment of the night for me. So, Michael Bullock, so much for the boss coming home, huh?
Yeah, so much for that. But yeah, I mean, Charlotte was definitely no surprise. I mean, we knew she was going to be going to SmackDown Live, and all the best goes out to her, and hoping that things go well for her there. And I do believe that she will be a future SmackDown Women's Champion sometime this year. I guarantee that. Now, as far as Tamina goes, I know a lot of people are not high on her, especially Anthony Florio, but I mean, she was a good wrestler. I mean, and plus, this is basically will be her first action in I don't know, in nearly a year. So she's had some time off. So give her a chance. So I mean, if she does well, maybe this ought to be a coup to the women's division. But if she continues the way she is, then I'll say that that Anthony was right. But let's just give her a chance for goodness sake. So great segment here, and good to see Charlotte on SmackDown Live. So Dee Woodson, what do you think about this?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, hopefully restarting it fixed it again. I don't know what's going on. I was saying when the mic wasn't working, Tamina, I'm a little surprised that she was drafted. But definitely this is going to be an interesting women's division. Hopefully it's not going to, hurt SmackDown in the end. But definitely we all pretty much knew Charlotte would be coming over from just the way the match ended on Raw for her last night. So Um, for me, I'm curious which one is going to end up being the top queen of SmackDown, whether it'll be Natalia or Charlotte. But if you noticed when the fans were chanting for Sasha, you know, Natalia had her ears covered up, so that kind of made it a little interesting just to see, how they the ladies in the ring reacted to how the fans were chanting who they wanted, and then of course, they didn't get exactly who they wanted, but it seems like it's fair enough trade to get Charlotte over there. Would have liked to seen somebody else come into SmackDown besides just her from Raw, but it is what it is. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, and hopefully this so-called shakeup isn't going to hurt uh, SmackDown like it looks like it could possibly do. So that's about all I'm going to say about it. So let's move on.
Yeah, no, virtually no reaction to the Tamina reveal. Basically, the crowd went mild, probably below mild. I'll even say, but then when Charlotte came out, oh, they reacted all right in a great way, a positive way. I think she's gonna be a baby face, guys. I think sweet little Charlotte is gonna be a baby face. They definitely gave her a warm welcome in Boston. It was a great reception, no doubt about it. However, there was some more news after that, and what we did have was a couple of other SmackDown shakeup announcements, and this was very interesting. The next guy we had, Sin Cara. Well, Sin Cara basically goes from Raw. No, I'm like, all right. I mean, I don't understand why they would put Sin Cara here. I kind of feel like, okay, we kind of got the short end of the stick on that one. But let me tell you, man, the next person we have, we didn't get the short end of the stick on this one. This guy has been a bona fide monster. I know he's been tailing off lately. He's been a little bit in the doghouse on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, they will not put him in the doghouse on SmackDown, because if this guy definitely is, if they give him the full potential, he will be a major player. And when I'm talking about Rusev Montreal, Rusev Mashka, Crash, Rusev, and very notable, and note this, guys, Rusev by himself, no Lana. Why was that? Wait, we'll get to her in just a little bit. You'll find out why they did that. So, next thing we had, we're gonna call this a cutout. I'm not gonna waste anybody's of your time, but what we did have was Ty Dillinger going one-on-one with Aiden English all by himself, and this was actually interesting because, if you may not know, but over the week, Simon Gotch got released by WWE. So the Vaudevillains are no more. So Aiden English is now all by himself. And it looks like they're giving him an opera, mafioso type of a gimmick going up against Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10. Obviously, Dillinger wins the bout, cut out. We're not going to waste any time. Then a special video package about Lana all by herself. And yes, she's on SmackDown as well, competing with the Divas. We got a 3 for 2, if you think about it. So, a lot of people have been waiting for Lana to debut. And Lana, she's been working, training in Florida, in NXT, the Performance Center. She's been training there. So brings to the table. Now we're going to get into what I think was the non-wrestling segment of the night. Dolph Ziggler comes out, cuts a promo, questions everybody in mind of what's going on, what happened to Dolph Ziggler. He's staying on SmackDown. I like Ziggler as a heel. I don't mind him on SmackDown. Yay for us. But then he's like, look, people are beautiful. They're awesome. They're great for the moment. But none of them are going to have the lasting power. None of them are going to sustain in SmackDown because I'm going to be here all the time, looking my best, doing my best, being the best out there, and nobody's going to do it. Well, there is somebody who took umbrage. And he's what I believe was the biggest acquisition for SmackDown right now. The king of the strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. He comes out. Boston goes absolutely nuts. And then, it was almost unbelievable. Then, Ziggler's like, who the hell do you think you are? Who are you? What's your, who on earth are you? This is something I never, ever, ever, ever thought I ever would hear in my life. Shinsuke Nakamura actually spoke. I've never heard him speak English. This was like the first time for me, and I was like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Because I've never seen Nakamura cut any promos on NXT. Sorry, I didn't. But Nakamura comes out and he's like, who am I? I'm Shinsuke Nakamura. The crowd goes nuts. And then Ziggler tries to do an attack that backfired, blows up in his face. Nakamura's like, shoves him down, like, come on, you want to fight? Let's go. No, he doesn't want to do it. He rolls out. Okay, fine. Oh, man. Okay, this was fun. I had a good time. Boston, you rock. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are true wrestling fans. This is a WWF city, WWE city. We all know that. Boston was one of the big territorial homes back in the day. You guys killed it. You guys made that such an awesome segment for me tonight. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Anthony Floyd, wax poetic on this awesomeness that we saw tonight.
Of course I can. You're absolutely right. Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura is basically like God to the IWC. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. I mean, he is an IWC darling, and his English was not helped by keeping in his mouth guard. That aside, that was a fun segment. They won't need to have him talk much to grab the crowds. A Nakamura and Ziggler feud? Yes, please. I'll take it. Maybe this could finally be the moment that Dolph Ziggler's been waiting for, because ever since Ziggler had that awesome program with The Miz for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship last fall, what has he done for us lately besides the heel turn? Nothing. Ho, you ain't doing nothing. Ho. You're about to start a feud with Shinsuke Nakamura, the king of the strong style. We're going to get some classics from these two. I could see these two possibly going at it at Backlash in Chicago next month. That's very possible. Can you imagine Shinsuke Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler if they book it for Backlash? Can you imagine what that Chicago crowd is going to be like for Shinsuke Nakamura? Whoa, Nelly. That's going to be hella fun. And MF said it, Boston. I mean, who will ever forget all those great house shows they used to broadcast from the old Boston Garden? The Boston Garden, the original Boston Garden, several of which are on not just YouTube, but also on the WWE Network. I mean, MF made a great point about the Boston territories. So I'm glad you brought that up, MF. Absolutely. I mean, you channeled you're in a professor, even though I'm the professor of this show. Everybody knows that. So So there you go. So a fun segment indeed. I've said my piece on it. So Nakamura and Ziggler, yes, please. And if they're smart, save it for next month. Save it for Chicago, because if you book these two in Chicago, Nakamura is going to get a hero's welcome. Ain't that right, Bola? As I give it to you.
Oh, you're damn right. That's gonna be it's gonna be one heck of a welcome for Shinsuke Nakamura. You saw it. The moment he came out. I mean, that crowd. They love this man, and this is why he's one of the most popular figures around the world. Not just with what we saw in NXT or currently here with SmackDown Live, but with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, yeah, he doesn't even need to say much to get a crowd riled up. Just his presence out there really gets them going. It was good to see him on the mic basically saying, "My name is Shinsuke Nakamura." And that crowd really went nuts. And yeah, I'm definitely up for a Ziggler Nakamura feud. And you definitely got to save it for Backlash in Chicago. And if they do make that happen, that's going to be a sleeper fight of the night. No doubt about it in my mind. So I love this segment. There's really nothing more to say. So, Dee Woodson, your thoughts on this? Oh, don't tell me we're having.
Yeah,
Don't tell me again.
yeah, we're at it. Yeah, it struck again.
Oh,
she's
jeez.
she's probably flipping out in the background, man. And normally
Like,
she's like Anthony. She's like the woman of good faith, but right now there's probably some few choice words she's probably spewing out right now.
yeah.
Thank God we have it mute. It is muted because she's probably flipping out right now.
Bro, like, you got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah, she said it. She's ticked. She's not happy, boys. All right, so well, we will do this, and before we get to the main event, one surprise on the Superstar shakeup for SmackDown Live, and this biggie. This was huge. Oh, SmackDown!
Beantown.
Don't
you dare!
Yeah. Be sour!
Be sour! Clap for your longest running tag champs!
And feel the power!
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed. Clap your hands, get hype, get jacked up, and start practicing your Francesca number twos, because the New Day are on SmackDown Live. They are on the blue brand.
Because
New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day.
Woo! Get used to that, SmackDown Live fans. You're going to be hearing that quite a lot.
Oh man, I cannot believe this actually happened. I was thinking something else, but hey, I'll take the New Day any day of the week. I mean, what a coup for the tag team division, man. I mean, this was a into the tag team division. Like we said, we knew this was going to happen. This was expected, and not only that, but we got all three of them. We get Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Biggie Langston. They're all coming to SmackDown. Not just two. They're not breaking them up. Thank God that's happening. Oh my God, this was a great pickup, and this was a great way to close and shut down the Superstar shakeup. And as a matter of fact, I want you guys to know this, and I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?" Well, listen to this.
What?
They're actually saying that with the SmackDown Live or the Superstar shakeup, we might actually have another shakeup Slam. So the rumor going around is that they're thinking about doing two of these period. So you're going to get one for the WrestleMania. Well, this is our quote unquote post WrestleMania shakeup, and then there's going to be another SmackDown or another Superstar shakeup. This is rumored, and the second one's going to happen possibly after SummerSlam. So maybe September. Eyes peeled, ladies and gentlemen, in the works sometime down the line. And now we're going to go into our main event of the evening, which was the number one contenders match for the United States title, triple threat, A.J. Styles, Sami Zayn, and Baron Corbin. The winner of the bout was A.J. Styles. He's the new number one contender for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Who leads off? I believe it goes to
me.
It goes to Anthony Florio.
Yes, it does.
Florio, can I say it?
Yep.
For the night?
Of course. Fight of the night. Absolutely. 3.5 to 4 stars. I mean, hell, I could give it 4 altogether. I mean, that was an entertaining match. But how thrilled are people going to be with A.J. Styles suddenly to find down and knock down a peg to the United States heavyweight title picture after he was the WWE champion for a good few months. But I do love the idea of a Styles and Owens feud, though, so we'll have to see what comes of it. Sami Zayn feels like he fits right in. And, wow, I mean, we knew this was going to be the fight of the night going in, and the outcome was never in doubt. We knew AJ was going to win this. Come on. I mean, Styles and Owens, that is going to be hella fun. And like I said, I got Owens over Jericho at Payback, and it's going to set up Owens and Styles. Can you say Backlash in Chicago, May 21? What's that crowd going to be like for these two guys? I mean, here are two guys who are both darlings of the IWC. I mean, they are gonna have so much fun with that match, and I cannot wait to see Styles and Owens go down. And when it does go down, I think AJ Styles is gonna walk out the new United States Heavyweight Champion. So enjoy it for now, KO, because the phenomenal one is gonna take the gold come Chicago on May 21. Just my early projection, so we'll wait and see. So but other than that, that was the fight of the night. Absolutely, MF called it correctly. So I'm giving it a solid 4 stars. I don't give a damn what anybody says. So telling it like it is, like I always do. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, a Styles and Owens feud down the road. Can you say hella fun? I can.
Oh, yes, my brother. Yeah, it's definitely, to me, this was the fight of the night. 3.5 to 4 stars is my rating. I mean, man, I mean, this was I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this main event, and yeah, and I'll tell you this right now, and I'm already giving you a prediction for the Payback U.S. title. Kevin Owens is winning that, and you get those two, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens, at Backlash in front of that crowd. I'm going on the record as saying that's going to be the fight of the night, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. So there's really nothing more to say. So, Twisted Angel, D.D. Woodson, your thoughts on this?
Okay, I'm on my cell phone, so hopefully all can hear me now.
That's a major yes. I can definitely hear you. No problem, love.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with my headset on the computer, but something is going on with it, and so this was my backup. So I don't even know where I left off.
Well, what we did was we basically we were gonna talk about the It was the Nakamura segment, so it was Shinsuke
Okay.
Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler. So we'll go. We'll start you off with that.
Okay. Yeah, I think this would be a good feud to start. Preferably after the next pay-per-view. Although I think they'll build it before then. Start building it before then. Who knows? But I'm excited just to see I can't even say his name. Nakamura. I'm glad to
Shinsuke
see him there.
Nakamura.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him there. I guess it's the Okie in me. I can't say some of these names. And here I got Kevin making fun of me in the background. So, so it's not a pacifier; it's a mouth guard. See what I put up with.
Wrestling.
Okay. Anyway,
Back to this.
I think this will be a good feud to build, and like I said, I'm excited to see him Nakamura there and to see him see what he's going to start to do, because I think he'll end up being the next champion eventually on SmackDown. I can just see that happening and him having a long run with it. But of course, you gotta get your feet wet somewhere, so might as well get your feet wet with Ziggler, and and putting these two together is definitely going to cement Ziggler as the heel in the whole storyline. So, and you said the next one was the match, which I thought was pretty entertaining. It was definitely the match of the night. Because wow, there's just so much action there. I don't even know where to start on it. I definitely would probably give it a 4-star rating for the match. So I'm not going to go much more into it because I'm sure you guys did a lot of it. So we'll just go on.
Yes, indeed. And in the main event, everybody was basically almost all in agreement. It was a 4-star fight, definitely the fight of the night. And there's a lot of optimism about the SmackDown Live and everything else. And I know a lot of SmackDown fans are really mad because, think about what happened. Going into it, we knew the Superstar Shakeup was going to be interesting. We didn't know how big type of impact it was going to have, and it really felt a little more than anything else because you saw they took a lot of stars away from Raw, but then we reloaded, but not in a way that I kind of feel like. So it almost, it's challenging enough. It's going to be a challenge for all the talent to get in and everything else. And we'll see what this how this shakeup's going to break out and the whole 9 yards in the upcoming weeks. But, for it to be, I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be fine. But we'll have to wait and see. So, for a review, Edie Woodson, we're gonna start you off, my dear, because I think that's gonna become tradition now. You started off, my dear. Give me your thoughts about SmackDown Live and what's your overall feeling of tonight's show?
Well, it definitely wasn't the strongest SmackDown we've had in a while, but we definitely picked up some good talent on SmackDown, and we picked up some questionable talent on SmackDown. So, and of course, several matches that just wasn't great. So I'm going to probably lean really close to about 5.5 to 6 stars on it, just because of the fact that there was a lot of questionable matches, and they definitely pretty much, in my opinion, ruined that first match with having Bray interrupting it. I mean, that just right there. I mean, it just, you have a great segment and then you go into your first match and you flop it. And I mean, that kind of cements, people's mind that the show isn't going to be as great as we would all expect. But, it is what it is. Like I said, there was several great matches and lots of surprises, lots of predictability. So I just pray and hope that SmackDown can turn this around in the next few weeks. Getting the new talent in there. Um, especially with seeing as now we're going to have a New Day coming in for tag teams, and Rusev, and along with the ones we actually saw tonight. So we'll just have to hope that they use the good talent that they've gotten and just start building the show up and keep the ho hum, boring fights and all the campy comedy crap out of the show. So that's about all I have to say about it. I'm not going to be here Monday night because I got work commitments. So I'll see you next Tuesday. Night, guys.
All right. All right, Dee. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the contributions, especially for tonight. I know it was definitely a stretch, to say the very least, with everything that was going on. So, with that said, we're gonna toss it off to Anthony Florio. So, Florio, give me the show.
Yes, I agree with Dee's rating. 5.5 out of 10 for me as well. SmackDown's going to struggle after it gets through the first few interesting feuds. I mean, Raw is overloaded with talent that it will struggle to take advantage of. If only there were a way to sort out that problem. But oh well, it is what it is. We'll have to see how the show feels once everyone is in full swing and John Cena gets back from filming other television. I don't think they will struggle to fill 2 hours, but variety is going to be a struggle. Raw ended up with about 20 more active roster talents than SmackDown for 1 extra hour of television. It seems like there is an imbalance here that will have to be addressed at some point. That said, having Orton, Cena, Styles, Nakamura, Owens, Zayn, Ziggler, Corbin, Charlotte, The New Day, etc., all fighting for time on a 2-hour show might feel a bit cramped too when everybody is around. Luke Harper seems poised for a singles run as well, and I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. So yeah, as far as stuff I would recommend the main event, obviously. I'll give you the tag team title match. I mean, those were the 2 best fights of the night, hands down. All the other stuff was meh, if I'm going to be real honest. Any segments involving the Superstar Shakeup, of course, you got to check that out, obviously. So I agree 100% with Dee Woodson's rating, 5.5 to 6. I thought Raw was the better show. And I'll also say I thought Raw did better in the Superstar Shakeup. I mean, SmackDown got some good names, yes, but I think Raw ultimately won it when it comes to the Superstar Shakeup, and hopefully that will lead to better Raws. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not wishing anything bad for SmackDown Live, but honestly, I think Raw is going to end up having the better shows now. And who knows? And if it keeps going in this direction, like it did this week, who knows? Monday Night Raw may be the A show once again, much to the chagrin of MF and all the others on SmackDown Live. But we'll see what happens. Let's give this a chance. Let's let it simmer down for a bit, and we'll take it from there. So 5.5 to 6 out of 10 is my rating. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts on the Superstar Shakeup edition of SmackDown Live?
Yeah, 5.5 to 6 out of 10 is my rating for the show. I mean, I thought Raw was the better show, and I do agree. I think Midge is better in the SmackDown Shakeup, or the Superstar Shakeup, I should say. Let's give it some time with both shows to see how they adjust with the new guys they have on their roster. So we'll just wait and see. So 5.5 to 6 out of 10. So Fletcher, if you're ready, let's get to your Mikey's mindset.
Well, there isn't really much on the Mikey's mindset this time around. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, is there anything that's going down coming up?" Unfortunately, not that much. However, I did announce a big announcement, and it came from the RWA. And well, guys, here is the huge announcement. For the first time in a long time, the RWA has a show coming up on Friday night, April 28th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's from Pawtucket, Rhode Island, from the brand new Chop Shop. Yes, they have a new home. It's at 225 Quonset Street in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and it's gonna be April Rain. This is gonna be, without a doubt, an awesome show. And as always, it's $10 to get in. $15 if you for general admission. It's $10 to get in. If you're 12 and under, 12 or under, it's $5 to get in. For VIP seating, you get early entry into the building, front row seats, and an event poster as always. And you can get the tickets at squareup.com/store/RWA. And I'm pleased to announce the first fight on the show is going to be a tag team match. The NCW Tag Team Champions, the Heavy Hitters, versus the RWA Tag Team Champions, the Middlesex Express. Gentlemen, titles for the first time ever in RWA history. Two tag team championship belts will be on the line. The winner of it all becomes unified champions. They will have both the NCW titles and the RWA tag team titles both in their possession when this goes down. More matches will be announced in the upcoming weeks. Stay right here to RWA to RWAWrestling.net, or you guys can come right back here 1 week from tonight on the Cerebral Smack Talk, and I will have more information on that as well. And as a matter of fact, there's also another show coming up at the new RWA Chop Shop in Pawtucket, and it's going to be on Saturday night, April 22nd, and it's the Rhode Island Championship Wrestling, RICW, Rebirth. It's called Rebirth 2, and what a matchup and what an event that we got on that fight card. And what we got is this. Um, it's gonna be Little Daddy Bravo defending the title, defending his Inner City Championship, and he's going to be fighting in a triple threat match against Troy Garbo and Big Daddy T Phoenix. Plus, we're gonna have is Johnny uh, Marlinelli and his pursuit to make the empire grow as he takes on uh, Jamie Tucker in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Then we have is the RICW tag team titles are going to be on the line. The Bad Company is going to put their titles on the line against the returning the Weekend Warriors. Then we're also going to have, oh my God, uh, Hunter Kane plans to take on Sean Leiter, I should say, in a Riot Rules match, and it's gonna be for the Warzone Championship, and in the main event for the RICW Universal Championship, Chaz Ma- the title against William Dafoe. And one other thing, if William Dafoe loses this match, his wrestling career is over. That will be a big show going down, and it's going to be, again, Saturday Saturday, April 22nd, 6 o'clock start time, $10 to get into the building. It doesn't matter, VIP, whatever. You can pay at the door at 225 Coincidence Street in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. So that's it. We're done for the night. Thank you so much for watching as always. And like I said, let's get into the Strictly Sports docket one last time. It's going down on Friday night. Ah! I'm sorry, guys. I got uh 10:30 Eastern on YouTube.com. And what we have is this. Tony Romo retires from the NFL and will be working as a commentator for CBS Sports. And he actually will be working with Jim Nance. He's going to be part of the A team. That's going to be going down then. Termine Brock gets cut by the 49ers after basically a domestic violence issue. Okay, we already know how that's going to play out. And Derek Ferrer has already put him on the list of Ferreira. So I'm not going to even go there. And if the NHL players will not be participating in the 2018 Winter Olympics, we're going to get into that. Patrick Ewing was named the new head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas, his alma mater. Of course, I will be recapping UFC 210 that went down last Saturday from Buffalo, New York, and I got a lot to say about that. Plus, we're going to be previewing the Stanley Cup playoff first round, the NBA first round as well, and for the final time, the NBA Power Rankings. That's Friday night, 10:30 Eastern on the Tone 25 on his YouTube channel, and then of course tomorrow night right here back on my channel on Braves Fan 95. It is the Ranger Roundup. Yes, for the first time in this season, the Ranger Roundup. New York Rangers versus the Montreal Canadiens. Game 1. When the game is over, maybe 10:30. We'll be hitting you guys hard, hitting you with all the recap, the stats, the goals. We're going to talk about Game 1 and the whole 9 yards. So, guys, until then, for Anthony Foyle, for Michael Bullock, Didi Woodson, I'm Mike Fletcher. Jose Hand Pounds, I'm out. Good night. Please share it with all your friends on all forms of the social media platform. And until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Jose Hand Pounds, we out. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now.